right, so welcome to my channel. It is time to create a new trade plan. All right, so I'm going to show you how I create my trade plan for me. So just remember, traders, trading is very personal and you need to trade you and not them. If you decide to trade something or do something that doesn't fit you, it's probably not going to work. Like what makes me successful could make you fail. So, trading is definitely a very personal thing, and it has to be your trading plan, strategy, all that stuff has to be designed around you. So be very careful. If you think you're going to just copy me or copy somebody else and it's going to work for you, it might not. Actually, probably not going to work for you. So definitely trading is very risky, and most traders lose all their money. And I think a big reason for that is because they see what other people are doing and they just try to copy people rather than making it personal for them. So when I'm creating my trade plan, that is one way that I'm making trading personal for me. The other way is with the strategy that I've created for myself or the strategy I might choose to use. So in this video, you're going to get to learn all about creating my trade plan. So, and just remember, traders, trading is not easy. It's definitely going to be the hardest game you will ever play. And if you think you can just sit down on your computer and start making money, pushing buttons and making money, I think you're going to be really surprised. If you think trading is easy and doesn't take a whole lot of work, I think you're going to be really surprised. So I think two of the most important things a trader needs to be successful is a good trading plan and a good way to track their progress and continue to evaluate their progress. So if you can't track your progress, how do you know where you've been and how do you know where you're going? Like, how do you make projections? How do you even reflect so you can make adjustments, change course, all that stuff. So you got to be able to track your progress. So in this video, I'm going to show you the tools that I use to create my trading plan and how I track that progress and do all that stuff. But if I gave you all the details of creating a trading plan, this would probably be like a 4-hour video, and I really want to try to make this as short as possible. So I'm going to do my best not to ramble and just stick to the pertinent information. But remember, over at my site, which will be linked below, right now, simpleswitch.teachable.com or 2020 Day Trader will link you over to Teachable. All of my trading education there is 100% free. So a lot of details I'm going to leave out of this video to keep it short. You can find over there at my site and get it 100% free. Also, throughout the year when I'm trading and putting up content, I'm going to constantly putting in little bits of information that relate to all of this stuff so you can continue learning and continue getting pieces of that information. Two of the series that I plan to put out this year is one of them is going to be creating a winning strategy, and we're building a winning strategy. Another one is why traders fail, which is very different than why traders lose. Losing is part of the game. You're gonna have losses, but why do you fail? Why do you blow up your account? Why is it game over? And why are you never able to trade again? So that is going to be another big series I'm going to put out. Those are very long, so it'll be a little bit, maybe like every week or so. I'll put out some content to spread out for probably most of the year, or at least 6 months on there, because it is quite a bit of information. So if you want to get a lot more of this information that I'm going to be putting out throughout the year, or if you find this video helpful, if you subscribe and hit that bell icon, you can be notified when new videos are released. And if you find this information valuable to you, please hit that thumbs up button. That definitely helps me out a lot. So just click that thing there, right on your screen. You can do that real quick. Doesn't take much time. Do it before you forget. All right. Well, thank you so much for that. That'll definitely help me out. Okay, so let's get started. What is the difference between a trade plan and a strategy? Because they're very, very different. So a lot of traders are looking for strategies and they never bother to try to find a plan. And I don't think you can be successful without one. So a strategy is a method of executing your trade plan. So you get your trade plan and then you can get a strategy to go with it. And that strategy is how you execute your trade plan. So if you search around, you can find a lot of people who sell strategies. But if they don't have a plan to go with that strategy, I don't know how you can be successful. So make sure you get a good trade plan. So what is a trade plan? A trade plan is your business plan for trading. Yes, trading is a business and you do need a business plan to do it. So without it, again, I just don't see how you can be successful. Trading is a lot more work than just buying and selling and pushing buttons on the computer and stuff like that. There's a lot more work that goes into it. You got to pay taxes, all that stuff. All right, so my trade plan is going to be broken up into 2 parts. The part 1 is the essence. So first we'll do the essence of a trade plan, all the stuff that actually makes it what it is. And then we have part 2, which is the actionable content. So we're going to get a bunch of data that we can react to so we can continue molding and working our trade plan around that data. Okay, so let's take a look at what we need to build the essence part of our trade plan. So the first thing, which is by far the very most important, is what I call the PLG. It's my personality, lifestyle, and goals. If you don't know this information, then yeah, don't even, just stop right now, put the paper down, and you need to go find this information. This is the most important part of trading. This information helps guide me in the different choices that we need to make when building the trade plan. Okay, so let's get into the PLG and some of the details there, but all the really, really like deep dive details and how we arrive at everything is going to be found in the Creating a Winning Strategy video series, because there's a lot of information. This could be a really long video if I go into all the details here, and I really want to keep this one short, but all that information can be found in the Creating a Winning Strategy video series. If you like and subscribe to the channel, you'll get notified as that series comes out, and you'll get notified of each episode as it pops out. All right, so let's move on to the, let's get into this a little bit here. So what information do I need to know from personality? To start with personality, first one. So personality is going to tell me what candlestick time frame I can trade on. It's going to tell me what strategy I need to use, and the strategy should be built around my personality as well. So, but if you're looking at other people's strategies and you're like, what strategy do I want to try to buy or use? Then that'll be a factor in what strategy you use. Your personality will be. When you're building your own strategy, this should already be incorporated into your strategy when you're building it. So yeah, you can't just go out and buy somebody's strategy and think it's going to work for you. If it doesn't fit your personality, lifestyle, or goals, it's probably not going to work. All right, so risk tolerance. Our personality is going to tell us about our risk tolerance. Our trade station environment, like how we're going to set up our trading platform and all that, like monitors and everything. What does our office need to be successful? Method of trading. It's going to give us our method of trading as well. Swing trading, futures trading, day trading, options, all those different possibilities will be in the method of trading. And all that can be determined by our personality. Again, if you're already an experienced trader, you can look at this and be like, oh yeah, those are good points I need to look at. If you're not really sure what's going on here, check out the Creating Winning Strategy, and you'll be able to learn a lot more about this. All right, next piece is our lifestyle. So lifestyle is going to tell me what time of day I can trade, morning, afternoon, evening, whatever that is. Time zone I'm trading in, the time zone matters, because maybe I don't want to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So that's going to affect my trade plan, because maybe I need to look at a different thing. Like I'll swing trade or futures instead of day trading, etc. How much do I travel? If you're always traveling, are you going to be available to trade during the normal market hours, or is that like an after hours thing in the futures market, or is swing trading better? All that kind of stuff. So how much time do I want to spend trading? I don't want to spend more than 2 hours a day trading, and not more than like 5 minutes a day for swing trading, and maybe 15-20 minutes a day for a futures market. It's kind of the way I see it. So do I have other jobs or business ventures? That's going to determine your trading hours and your availability. So that you have to have all that information. Goals. What are my financial goals for the year, and will my trade plan meet those goals, right? Like if I need to make 500,000 for the year, then I need to be able to look at my plan and say, am I getting there, or do I need to come up with a new plan? Financial goals for the day, same thing. Financial goals for the month. Trading goals like proving a new strategy. What is the goal for this year? Creating a winning strategy. We'll go over a lot of that. Life goals like replacing income. Maybe you have a job and you're looking for trading to be your thing that replaces your income. Or maybe it's more time to do other things, and maybe you are a pro trader and you're just like, you know what? I'm tired of sitting at my desk for 8 hours a day trading. I want to be there 2 hours a day. So a lot of traders do that, because they have to research in the evening before, research in the morning, scanning, all that stuff. Then they're at their computer for, 4 or 5 hours trading. Maybe you want to get rid of that and you want to, change it around for next year. So there we go. All right, so moving on. All right, so questions I need to answer for the essence of my trade plan. So these are questions we need to answer so we can plug in those answers and then finish off this section. So the first question I need to answer is, how much money do I have to fund my account? This is going to be different than how much money I need. That we're going to find out later when we get to the second part. But how much money do I have? And then we got to make sure how much I need is less than how much I have. And how much I have should not be Bill's money, right, traders? Like this is money you would use to buy fireworks. Don't use Bill's money for trading. Okay, so the second thing is, what will be my trading time frame? So am I looking to trade 2 hours a day, 1 hour a day? What is that? And then what part of the day am I planning to trade? Do I have to do other business in the morning, so I'm trading in the afternoon? What does that look like? And then who will be my broker? For me, it's TD Ameritrade. I love them. The only reason I would trade with somebody else is if I was doing like a small account challenge and I needed an offshore broker or something. But yeah, TD Ameritrade is fantastic. Ninja Trader is also pretty awesome. So I could see that from my futures trading. They're pretty awesome as well. What are commissions? Big deal. That you really need to know because that can make or break your account. Who will I use for charting? TD Ameritrade. What subscriptions will I need and what is the cost? So I don't have any subscriptions I need. So I have my strategy manager, which cost me right now at the making of this video, or it would cost you $49 for the year, and that's the only subscription I need. TD Ameritrade gives me everything else, charting, all that stuff, scanning, everything. What are my platform fees? I don't have any platform fees. What will my strategies be? So my strategy is going to be the simple switch ladder for day trading, simple swing for my swing trading, and I'll also do simple switchback for day trading, simple swing for swing trading, and my red light, green light for futures on the 30-minute candle. How will I track and manage my strategy? How much will that cost? Again, what is the tools that you're going to be needing to track your strategy? For me, like I said, it's for if you were to buy my strategy manager, it's $49 for the year right now. Some other tools that I do like TradeRView, I do like them a lot, but $600 a year for the tools on there that I would want. So pretty expensive. And then what will my accountant need for taxes? Yes, of course. So, do you have to print out like every trade? Like, what does that look like? What do they need? So I would call your accountant and say, hey, I'm getting into day trading. I'm getting into this or whatever, and say, can we talk about it and have a meeting with them on it so that you can be set up for success and they can have an easier job doing your taxes at the end of the year. And then the second to last thing is, when do I need my first paycheck? So, if your plan doesn't give you a paycheck for 90 days and you need to get paid in 30 days, then your plan is not a good one. So you need to figure that out. And then what tickers will I be trading or what conditions? So we need to figure out what tickers I'm going to be trading, which we're going to get a lot more information on the next thing. I have an idea of what tickers I want to trade, but we won't really know until we finish the second portion of this. Or conditions, conditions, that's something you could know based on all the information you just did here. 1 through 12, you can figure out kind of the condition. If you're going to be trading, gap and go trades, then that's because you decided that you're going to be trading the first few hours in the morning, right? So if you're going to be trading the power hour or close of day trades, it's because you decided, right? So what conditions are we going to be trading? All right, so the next piece that we need to look at. So the next questions that we need to answer are the actionable part of my trade plan. So we're just going to run through all these questions, and then I'm going to jump over to my strategy manager, and we're going to start getting answers to these. But I just want to put them all out here right up front so that you have them already in your mind. So the first one is, how many tickers will I trade at the same time? So that's going to be determined by how much money I have to put in my account, how much I need to put in my account, and a bunch of other factors, which I'm going to show you once we get into my strategy manager. What is my statistical proven probability of success? So very important. This is going to give me the information I need to know how I can scale up my account, what kind of risk management I need, and all that stuff. And I only trade off of a statistical proven probability of success that fits within my trade plan, my personality, lifestyle, and goals. Anything outside of that is casino trading, and I'm going to blow up my account. How do I find and choose the tickers that I'm going to trade? So I teach you all about that over at my website with my trade education classes, which are all free. Link is in the description below. And yep, all my trading education over at my site is free. I do not charge for teaching. How will I scale up my trades to reach my profit targets? So that, these previous answers are going to help me determine that. And again, when we get into the My Strategy Manager, you'll see it. What is my starting risk? How much do I want to start my risk? Am I risking $100 a trade, $500 a trade? What's that starting risk going to be? What are my projections for the year based on the data that we've collected so far in the My Strategy Manager? And then what will my starting balance need to be, right? Because if my starting balance is 27,000, but that doesn't reach my financial goals, and I have 50,000 to start with, I could start with, then I'm going to go ahead. Maybe I need to start with 30,000 or 35,000. What is that it needs to be to reach my goals that doesn't exceed the money I have for trading, which is money I can burn? And then even more important is I don't want to put more in my account than I absolutely need, because every dollar that's in my account past what I need is just money at risk. And if something weird happens, like, as I'm making this video right now, I forgot to close out a trade on Friday and I'm in pretty big, like it's a huge position. So if something weird happens and that ticker gaps and runs before the market opens on Monday, I could blow up my whole account. And if I blow up my whole account, I don't want it to be all the money I have. I only want it to be the money I needed to get started. And then that gives me a buffer to refund and, get going again. All right. So can I afford to trade all my tickers at the same time? Can I afford to trade all my tickers at the same time? So the reason why this really matters, and again, we go into more details in the creating a winning strategy, but quickly, if I have 10 tickers and I can't afford to buy them all at the same time, I can say I can only afford to buy 5 at the same time. Then I got to buy, and if all 10 hit, then I have to choose which ones are the winners and which ones are the losers, right? I got to get lucky because 3 or 4 of those might be losers. And what if I buy all the losers in that mix? And then the next day I trade a different set of tickers, same tickers, but I trade, out of the 10, I trade a different group of them, and those end up being the losers. And then I can look back on the year and say, wow, I had a 90% win rate, but I blew up my account because I always picked the losing trades because I didn't trade all of them at the same time, and I didn't trade every opportunity that presented itself. So really important, how many can I afford to trade, can I afford to trade all my tickers that I plan to trade? Will this plan fit within my PLG? So if it doesn't fit within my PLG, then it doesn't really matter, right? We're not going to be successful probably. All right, traders, so that's it. So now we're going to go ahead and open up the My Strategy Manager and get going and show you how we put all the data in there and then how all this comes together to make me successful. Okay, so here we are with the My Strategy Manager for 2022. So if you want to learn more about this, you can click the link in the description below. All the pages on here have instructional videos as well. And over at the site, you can see the different instructional videos so you can fully see how this whole thing works. But we're going to go over to dashboard, and then this is what I use to build my strategies and also to test my strategies, track my strategies, build my trading plan, track everything, all that stuff. So we're going to go with day trade account, 27,000 is what we decided to go with. We're going to find out for sure if that's going to be good enough. And then futures trading, we're going to try to start with 1,700. That's because that's pretty much the minimum. That'll give me a loss or two and not have to add money to the account. And again, we'll see if that's enough money. And then swing trading account, I'm going to use this account tab here, swing. There's 2 different tabs for swing trading. I'm going to use swing, and I'm not going to put anything in the starting balance because I'm actually going to just trade off of the day trading account. It's not going to be a separate funded account. I'm going to share the money with swing trading. So I'm going to leave that blank. And then what will happen is when I get over to scaling ladders, my day trading account, I'm going to scale based on dollars, and my swing trading account, I'm going to scale based on percent. So I'm going to look at the day trading account because that's what this is attached to. And then that's going to tell me what I'm going to swing trade off of actually. So I could change the name of this if I want, but I'm just going to leave it because that's the account it's pointed at, and that's where the money's coming from for swing trading. So, and then I can put my percentages in, and then it'll tell me how much I can risk per trade. So that's pretty much how I have it set up. So my dashboard's all set up now. And now I'm ready to go ahead and look at my tickers and start to vet my tickers and see what they're going to provide for me. So let's go check that out. So, and even before I get to that, over on trading rules, I need to put in the name of my strategy, the rules around the strategy, chart images to remind me of what exactly that is, all my basic trade rules like trade your plan, plan your trade, trade your plan, proven statistical probability of success, all that kind of stuff. Put all that stuff in here so that it's easy for me to look at and see, and then I can always put this on my wall as well. So once I put all that stuff in here, then I can go and look at my tickers and judge them based off the strategy that I'm going to be trading them in and the trade rules around that. So I need to put all that stuff in here, and all that stuff came from the strategy, creating a winning strategy. So definitely check out that series, but all that info is going to go in here first, and then we're going to jump over to the chart and see what our tickers will do. So what we're going to end up doing, so I know I'm going to trade 3 tickers. I've already sourced those tickers. I'm going to go to my back test blocks, and I'm going to write them in here: MRVL, AMAT, and then JD I have at the bottom, and a group down there at the bottom. So I'm going to put that stuff in there, and then once all that stuff goes in, and then if there's any notes I want to put in based on those, like I could put in here, no speed bump. Speed bump is when I reverse my position on a loser. I can put some notes in there as well on the back test blocks, so I can keep an idea, and then I can put in the date that I started my back test on if I want as well. All right, so let's go over to the charts. Okay, so here we are with AMAT. So I go back 90 days, but I'm just going to show you. The reason why I go back 90 days is because I believe 90 days gives me a good snapshot of everything from options expirations to earnings to seasons change and like all kinds of stuff. So I always go at least 90 days. But basically, I mark up my chart, and then based on what the algo is telling me, my rules and all that stuff, and then I mark it all up. And then by marking it up, I know a bunch of different things. I can see winners and losers, and I also can see what my day looks like. So right here we have, 133.15 was my target, and my starting was 131.50. So that gives me around $1.60 is what my profit would have been in there. And I can go and look at all of these now, going back 90 days, look at all those numbers and kind of see what the average is of those numbers, see what my wins, losses are, and all that stuff. And then we're going to put all that information into the My Strategy Manager, and that's going to give us data that we need. Okay, so then now we're in the My Strategy Manager. So as we went back 90 days on AMAT, MRVL, and JD, I was able to put in to see my wins and losses and all that stuff. So going back the 90 days based on my strategies, plural, the 2 that I'm using for day trading. This is just for day trading portion. I'll do the same exact thing with swing trades and the futures market. So I can see that I have 92% success, 88% green days over here. So and then same thing, 86. And I can kind of see what the different deals are giving me: 86, 82, 85 if I change the rules around a little bit, but it's not that much of a difference, and then I lose 12 trades, right? So lower frequency trading, higher success, but I actually make more money with lower success, more frequency. So I won't do this one, I'll do this one. So by doing this, you can kind of get a good idea of, this is great, but actually it's better to have more losers and make more money. So now I know what my success rate is percentage-wise. I can also look and see how many losers I typically get in a row. And I normally get more than 2 in a row if I do get 2 in a row, which is rare, but they do happen. So, we got almost 2 in a row there. So that also helps me because then I can say, well, do I want to scale up on my next trade if I don't usually get 2 in a row and help recover my account faster? So things like that. So I get all this data there, and then so now I know what my percentage win rate is. I kind of know what I'm looking at, right? And why this matters is because if I have 3 tickers with a potential of 6 trades in a day, if I, depending on my percentage and how often I lose, depends what my risk is. Because if I can only afford to lose 2,000 in my account, and I start with risking 3,000 in one day, odds are 86% that I'm going to be okay. But is that good enough for me? Do I mind having to refund my account? So something to think about. So anyway, so we go over to calculator now, and I put in my tickers here. So I have MRVL and all that stuff. I put in my account buying power right now, and then I put in the cost to buy each one of these currently, and I'll average up. So if it's 132.50, I'll just put 133 because this is going to tell me if I can afford to buy them. So, and then what that's going to tell me over here is the most amount of shares I can afford to buy of MRVL with my account, AMAT, right? That's the most I can buy. But if I were to buy all 3 of them at the same exact time, the most of shares I can buy is $394 of each one, or 394 shares of each one. So this matters because now I need to be able to know, right? Can I afford to buy all of these at the same time? So far I can, but now we got to look at the max risk. So I can come down here as well and look at percentage wise. I can put in how much percentage of my account I'm willing to risk, and then that'll give me my numbers there as well. So a 2% risk per trade would be $540. Or if I wanted to do it by per day, then $540 per day is what I would risk. So I can put in my percentage based on my account value and see what I'm comfortable with there. And then so over here, we're going to put in what the average moves were for these tickers. So 80 cents, $1.49 for that one, $1.11 for that one. And this matters because when we get to our scaling ladder, we're going to see how much profitability these are going to provide us. So $1.49 is the average move. If I risk $300 per trade, can I afford all these tickers, right? Yeah, 375 shares is what I would need to buy of this one at an 80-cent move. $201 I would buy this one at a $1.49 move. And if I take a loser, I'm losing 300, but I'm winning and losing the same amount. My R&R is 1-to-1. So I'm risking 300 to make 300. So and then 270 over here, if I buy 270 shares at $1.11 risk on the move, I'm not risking more than 300, and I'm probably not going to make more than 300 if I hit those numbers perfectly, which you never do because of slippage and all kinds of other stuff that goes into trading, right? So this only gives me a rough idea of where I'm at, but that's all you can pretty much get. So over here, I'll put in if I can only trade it, short, if I'm only planning on trading it short based on the strategy, only long, or if I can if I'm going to do it both ways, I might do it like that to give myself a reminder. Some tickers I can't short because they're hard to borrow, but all these I can do both directions. So I will be trading them based on the back test. I'll be trading them long and short. So I'll put that in there. So when I look at this, I always have that, especially when you look at it back at the end of the year. All right, great. So now we know that we can pretty much afford it with $300 risk. If I wanted to risk $500, and maybe I don't, then I can't afford to buy all these at the same time, see? So the most I really can afford to buy, I could probably do $310 and kind of inch this up, but I'd rather round it down to the low side to make sure that I'm in, I got a buffer and I can buy all three of these at the same time. So I know I can risk $300 per trade and afford it, but do I want to risk $300 per trade? That's going to be the question coming up. So right now, I know that if I risk $300 per trade and I do take all these, that's 3, 6, 9. That's a potential of $1,800 a day starting off right out of the gate. But that's also a potential of losing $1,800 a day starting out of the gate, right? Because I could have everything be a loser. That's possible. So that could be bad. Do I want to lose $1,800? Starting account balance $2,700, lose $1,800, and pretty much game over on day one, right? So maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I want to start with $100 risk. So now we're looking at $600 in a day is pretty much the most I'll make and the most I'll lose. That gives me 4 or 5 days of straight losing before my account becomes a problem. So that's probably going to be a little bit more realistic. All right, so now that we think $100 is the more realistic starting thing, and I'm going to scale based on dollars, not by percent, then I come over to my scaling ladder for dollars. So then I find my day trade account over here, and it has to be this because this one is linked to my day trade account. So we have these tabs down here, day trade log. So right here, that scaling ladder section is linked to this log. So it's going to be tracking what happens in this log and showing up green when I can move on to the next piece. So it's going to let me know when I can scale up automatically based on what it's monitoring in that log. So we have 500 here. We are not going to start with 500. We'll start with 100, right? So now we'll scale, run it all down. So we get 100. So after we have 10 trades, what I've done is divided each one of these to 10. So it's easy to look at. So 10 trades, we get to $1,000 in our account. And then what do I want to do? I want to keep going with hundreds or do I want to scale up? I'm going to scale up to 150 at this point. So I'm going to scale up to 150. And now we got 20 trades under our belts. And of course, we'll have losers in here, right? So in order to get here, we'll actually end up with based on an 86% win rate, we're going to round it down to 80% win rate, 20 trades. So that's 4 losers in the mix for every 20 trades, roughly. So 24, 25 trades. It'll take me actually to get to this level here. See how I did that? I knew what my percentage win rate is, so I can figure that out by how many trades. If I have a 90% win rate, then every 10 trades on average I'm losing one. I need a winner to pay for that loser. So actually it would take around 20 trades would be winning. I would have 4 losers in there, so 16 trades, and then would be losers. So I'll end up having 4 trades pay for those losers. So having the percentage win rate definitely helps me figure out in the scaling ladder kind of where I'll be on target. And I have a video 60 to 70% win rate. Go check it out so you can really see how losers affect your winners and winners vice versa. Makes a huge difference when you're doing your trade plan. So check that video out. I won't go into all the details here. But so for the sake of it, we're just going to say 20 trades were at 2,500, which will be more than 20 trades because I'll have losers and I'll have to have winners that pay for losers and so forth. But we're just going to keep this simple and short. So we'll say that for now. So then we'll come down and, I'll scale up. Maybe I'll get more aggressive now. And I'm going to say we're going to do $500. Let's say we get crazy and we want to do $500. And then I'm going to show you why I say that. So right now, when we're getting ready to risk 500, we would have made 2,500 in our account, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to calculator. Is this realistic? Can I even realistically scale to 500, right? It's 2,500 in our account. So now I can come over here and I can adjust my buying power. So with 2,500, that's basically going to give me another $10,000 in buying power. So, and again, I always have little buffers in there. So we're going to say 118,000. I want to risk 500 now. So we're going to do that. The most I can afford at one time is 430 shares. So it's not realistic for me to risk $500 because I can't buy everything risking $500 at the same time. And if all these trades set up, I need to be able to buy them. So, and I can't. So that's not even realistic. What is realistic at that point? $350? $350. The most I can do is 430. Somewhat realistic because I'll be doing these. That's just 430. We're a little over, but we're way under here. So yeah, I think 350 is realistic. So now I can go back to my scaling ladder and say the most I can do if I really want to be aggressive is go to $350. Is the most I can do. All right, so then that keeps me in the realistic zone. And then I'll do this all the way down. So let me just fill all this in real quick, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so now I got everything filled out. And again, I have to take into account my swing trade account too, because how many tickers will I keep out over there? Well, if I risk 2% per trade, that's $540, that I'm risk rewarding. And if I go up to 10% max out at one time, that could be 10 or 5 tickers out. And if all 5 of those tickers are a certain amount of money, then, I got to look at all those numbers too to see how much I'll even have left in my day trade account to trade with if I want to go heavy swing trading, which I don't. So I'm just going to go with 1 ticker swing trading, factoring all that in. I can look and see that this is realistic and have projections. So scrolling all the way down, I can see where I'll be at the end of this scaling ladder. So each one of these are 10, right? Or I can just look over here and see 191 and then come all the way back up and see where it's starting at 22. So then we got to factor in that 80% win rate. So when you do the math on all of that stuff, it would take me 169 trades if I don't casino trade or do stupid things and all that stuff along the way, which I probably will. So it might take more, but it'll take at least 202 trades to get to this level where I have 181,000 in my account. And I can kind of see, all right, that's good. So 202 trades to get to 181,000 in my account. Will that meet my financial goals? I don't know. Let's go find out. So we're going to go back over to backtest blocks. So how many trades am I actually taking in a 90-day period, which is about 4 months of trading if I don't miss any days. So we're going to go down here and we're going to add up all the trades that I would be taking over a 90-day period. So when you add up all the numbers, and the numbers, the way I added up is, I have 23 wins and 2 losses. That's 25 trades, but 2 of these winners are going to pay for these losers, right? So really it's 21 that I'm taking home over here at the end of the day. Same thing here. I have 34 trades, but 4 of them are losers. I need winners to pay for those losers, so I'm really only taking home 26 trades. So I add that up with all my tickers and all that stuff over 90 days. And 90 days is trading days, not calendar days. That's why it's about 4 months of trading. And it could be a little bit more, even 5 months if I take a bunch of days off in there. So, but we're going to say 4 months of trading. So that gives me 111 trades. So let's go back over to our scaling ladder. It gives me 111 trades. So that 200 would take me 200 trades to get to here. So 200 and something trades to get to here. So basically 8 months of trading, I could be looking at $181,000. So is that enough to meet my projections in 8 months of trading? And then from there, I have another 4 months on top of it. I can get close to this number, especially if I scale up or get a little aggressive, plus swing trades, making money, all that stuff, right? So maybe I get, a little bit closer to that number. So let's say I make 150,000 during that time, then that would end up giving me about $300,000 in the year trading. So is that enough money to meet my financial goals? That's the question, So, and as long as it is, which for this account it is, so I'm going to be happy to start with that and do that. If it's not, then what I would have to do is go ahead and increase my starting account balance and increase my starting risk profile and all that stuff to make this all work out. If I started this with $500 and, basically, times 4 on what this is, now I'm doing $1 million a year by the end of the year. But in order to time this by 4, I got to times my account by 4. So I would have to start with a much bigger account if I'm going to do that, just based on, how I would feel personality-wise, risking that much of my account and what I can afford and all that stuff. So right now, starting with 27,000, this works for me. With this scaling ladder, and this is pretty much as aggressive as I can afford with the starting balance. I can't really afford to be more aggressive than this. So, and then what happens with these scaling ladders is as I'm winning, it's allowing me to scale up, and as I'm losing, it's making me scale back down. So it helps preserve my account. I don't blow it up so fast. If I have a losing streak, it's a slower drawdown, and winning streaks are a slower draw up. But that's the way it needs to be for me to be successful. So there we go. So now we got that information. So now I can look and see that, after 10 trades, which, in a week, I'm doing more than 10 trades in a week. I'm trading 3 tickers, potentially 2 trades a day. But realistically, what was realistic, right? We have to go back and look at our back test blocks. We had 111 trades in 90 days, roughly, right? So 111 trades in 90 trading days. So if we were to divide that by 5, if we were to divide that by, if we just said each month had 4 weeks, we'll just go with that. I know some of them have 5 weeks, but we just round it up, just get an idea. That's 16 weeks of trading. So if we take that 111 trades and basically if I divide it up over, if we say a month has 4 weeks, which I know some of them have 5, but if we just, take that number and divide that, we can see that I'll get about 6 trades in a week. So we'll have, we can do half of this in a week roughly. So by, it would take me about 2 weeks to get to here. So now, once, it's $1,000 a week, traders, I'm starting with. I mean, that replaces a lot of people's income, but I can't touch this yet. And we're going to talk about that in a second. So then we get to this next level in about, another couple weeks. So about 3 weeks, and we could run through these and be at 350 risk reward. And that's giving me, pretty nice. It's giving me about $3,000 a week, which is pretty awesome. So now we're looking at this and saying, at the end of the year, if I don't touch any of my account money, none of it, then we were looking at, 181,000 in about 4 or 5 months, and at the end of the year, we were looking at around 300 and change if I don't touch any money. But if I start giving myself a paycheck every week or every couple of weeks, then what does this really look like, right? So once I get to this point here where I'm making $3,000 a week, if I took $1,000 a week out, I need to be able to account for that. So this would only be around 9,600, not even. So we say, it would be 8,800. So we would lose 4 days or 3 days on this growth. So now I can go back in here and plug in my paycheck. So when am I going to get a paycheck? That was one of the questions we wanted to ask ourselves, right? So once I get to $3,000 a week, then I'm going to start taking a paycheck for myself of $1,000 a week into this zone. So then I can go back and account for that $1,000 a week, which is gonna be my paycheck all year long. And then at the end of the year, whatever's after that, it's like a big bonus at the end of the year. Other way I can do it is just take my check every month. So this way that money can sit in my account and work for me a little more. Maybe I make a little bit more money at the end of the year, but I'll take $1,000 a week out is what I'll end up doing for my paycheck. But that's going to affect my target. That means I'm not going to hit this number. So I got to start thinking about now, how much do I really want to take out as a check? How much do I need to take out as a check? How much am I really going to end up left over with at the end of the year? And is that good? And really what I need to do is go and take the time now to really look at those numbers. If I took a check out this week of $1,000, where does that put me here? So, and one way I can do that is on the scaling ladders here. We have a manual section over here where I can just type in what each thing is. So, and I can use this now to type in the reality of me taking a paycheck and see what it is at the end of the year. But to save you all time, I'm not going to go through all those details because I don't think it matters for you to be able to figure your own plan out as long as you know that's something that needs to be thought about. So, okay, great. So now we can start looking at our questions that we had asked ourselves. So how many tickers are we going to trade at the same time? We're going to trade 3 tickers at the same time. That's what the plan is. What's the statistical proven probability of success trading those 3 tickers? I have 92%, 88% with this setup here. I have 86%. So, looking at these, I can easily say I have at least an 80% win rate, right? That's conservative compared to these numbers. So, and I want to be on the conservative side. So I have at least an 80% win rate on a statistical proven probability of success that is free from confirmation bias and subjective viewpoints because I'm trading off my algorithm, so I don't have to worry about any of that other stuff interfering. And then how do I find my tickers? I use Thinkorswim to scan or whatever's going on that I feel like trading. Like I like to shop somewhere, I might trade their ticker. How will I scale up my trades was that other question. So by dollar, we answered that question. We're going to start with 100 because that's what we can afford. And then what's my starting risk? It's 100. And then we saw, what the scaling is already. What is my starting account balance? 27,000. And will that work? Yes, that'll work for what I want to do with this account. So we can definitely keep that. So what are my projections for the year based on the data? This is basically what we're looking at for the year. And then what helps me traders from FOMOing and sticking to the rules is see this 181,000 in 4 to 5 months, say 5 months, because of, I might take some time off. When I'm like, oh man, I really want to jump into this trade, or, I don't have any trades today, I just want to buy something. I can think about this. Just follow the rules, stick to the plan, and I could be looking at $181,000 in less than half a year, which is a lot more than most people make in 2 or 3 years, right? So I can make that in less than in a half a year, working 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day. All right, I'm going to follow the rules. I just need to stick to what's going on. And as I'm trading and monitoring, I can see this growing and it's actually working. And then that helps build confidence to just stick with the rules and all that stuff. And if I never did this before, I'd be doing all of this in a sim. Never trade with real money until you've proven yourself in a sim. I recommend highly that sim trading is at least 90 days to a year. Trade a plan for a year or at least 90 days. And then psychologically, that will help big time because you'll see all this work. If you do everything as if it was real, then it's really easy to switch over to real money and just repeat that because you've already seen it work. It's a lot easier to do it. Whereas if you just go with real money and you're not having a good go at it, then because, just the time of the year, it's that week, bad month, bad whatever, it's really hard to stay on track because your confidence is going to be shaking because you've never done it before and now you're doing it and it's not working and you want your money back, right? So really hard. So sim trading, and sim trading. All right, so what are my projections for the year? We just looked at that. What will my starting account balance be? We already talked about it. And yes, we're good. Can I afford to trade all of my tickers at the same time? Yes, based on the calculator. We can't afford all those. Now, who knows? This could gap up and be 200% more expensive next week because something great came out. Then I'll have to reevaluate my trade plan. And that's the thing. Your trade plan has to be fluid. Got to stay on it. You got to track it, monitor it, manage it, and adjust it as necessary. And now the most important question is, will this plan fit within my PLG? And yeah, it totally fits. No problem. This works for me. and we're good to go. So now the next piece would be to go over to my swing. Well, not really next piece. The piece I needed to do, which I didn't go all in detail on with all of you, just because I don't want to waste your time. You can kind of see how it's working now already. Is swing trading. Will my swing trading fit in this? When I add my futures trading into it, what does that look like now? So now I need to do all that stuff and make sure all that fits as well. But basically, this is a process that I go through. So yes, I'll do that with those, and then that'll give me my full trade plan for the year, because I don't have all the different markets that I'm playing with. I'll see what the projections are and all that stuff. Can I afford it? What happens to my accounts? All that good stuff. And then the last piece to this whole puzzle is to track it. Is just to start tracking it now and making sure that it's working the way it's planned. All right, everybody. So that's how I create my trading plan. I hope that helps. I know it was really like high level overview. I didn't go into all the details of all the little specific nooks and crannies. But again, check out my creating a winning strategy video. You'll definitely see a lot more information in there on this. Subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell icon, because each trade episode I upload, we'll be talking about some of those details and different trading things and all things trading. And then over at my site, where all my education is free, you can also get a lot more information there. And then here on the channel, you can search the 60 to 70% win rate video. I think that's super beneficial, especially to creating a trading plan. And then 90% win rate and why that matters. Another really big key to creating a trade plan. And if you create a trade plan, you'll probably already discover that 90% video and see what that actually happens with that 90% win rate, where you can blow up your account with a 90% win rate. Very easy to do. We talk about that in there. So definitely check out all the content I have to offer. And again, if you have any questions, comments, things you'd like to see me talk about in the future, please put it in the comment list below, and we'll see you on the next one.